and welcome everyone to another episode of Robo Luchador. I'm your host Russell, joined by this week
Morgan.
Yep, the dynamic duo is back. How have you been, Morgan?
I've been alright. You?
I'm okay. A little stressed, but I'm okay.
So, would you like to start us off?
I got nothing. I really don't. I'm sorry. I've been looking for specific old news because I just bought the Jack Specific Warcraft figures, the first four, and while I haven't received them yet, what I'm seeing I don't like. So I'm looking to find out who has the license to that in hopes that someone is making better.
Yeah.
Who else has the license? And all I can find out is Jack. And I read somewhere that NECA may have the license for the movie as well, but I've not seen it. Again.
Yeah.
So, I'm worried. Like, Jack Specific isn't exactly known for their quality toys. In fact, actually,
Yeah.
they're known for cheap shit. And I literally think that's what they got it. It's that they bid to Legend, not to Blizzard.
Alright, when you said literally, I just imagined actual fake feces. So, that was awkward.
No, but I don't. Maybe once upon a time they might have made that.
Probably. I could start us off if you want then.
Go for it.
Martin Freeman is being cast to play a supporting character of Black Panther in Civil War, and Gwyneth Paltrow is going to return as Pepper Potts.
Good.
I don't know how I feel about Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts. I've never really clicked to her as when she's played the character, but I'm happy that Martin Freeman's being cast, especially as a supporting character for Black Panther.
The way I've always felt is she does a great role as Pepper Potts, and she does it really well because she's not supposed to be. Excuse me. She's not supposed to be like this super gorgeous someone that captures his heart. She's really supposed to be quite plain looking, and I think I've always Gwyneth Paltrow captures that very well. I'm not wanting to be insulting. She's still a very beautiful woman. It's just she's not that. Hey, I run after supermodels all day, all night type. Beautiful. It's hard to explain.
People may disagree with that, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I can see where you're coming from, though.
Yeah. She fits the character really well.
Yeah, and I can see why other people like her as a character, but her playing the character just really hasn't clicked with me, but that's, again, it's just me. But, yeah, as I said, more Black Panther characters being announced makes me happy.
Yeah.
Apparently he's supposed to play a US government official or something that has something to do with Black Panther. Mm-hmm. And it may branch off into the Solo movie.
Yeah.
Apparently Negan's origin story from The Walking Dead is going to be told in a spin-off comic, and his TV introduction was apparently filmed multiple times because a clean version was needed for TV, and apparently there's a very curse-heavy version for the DVD release.
Interesting.
because I did not know he was known as being a curse-heavy character in the comics, but I found out, and yeah, apparently they didn't want to throw it all away, so they filmed both versions, and through one form or another, you'll get to see them both at some point. I don't know too much about the character, but I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan will do it really well.
Walking Dead, I draw blanks.
Yeah.
I stopped reading the comics shortly after they took Rick's hand.
Yeah. Justice League Part 1 is said to start shooting April 11th.
Good.
And Zack Snyder tweeted out a behind-the-scenes pic where Jason Momoa showed off Aquaman's outfit from the Justice League movie, which looks quite a bit like the new 52 version, but also a bit more like the Injustice outfit, and Flash's outfit.
Okay. So...
Pardon?
What's the deal with Flash's outfit?
It... Again, it's behind the scenes thing, and it's kind of in the background, but it looks better than it does in the concept art.
Okay.
So I'm happy about that. Apparently there was also a bit of Mera concept art shown and a few other things, but yeah, that's what you could properly make out. Lucy Davis was cast as Diana's best friend Candy in Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Apparently she's an actress from The Office and what was it again? Shaun of the Dead. So I have seen The Office and Shaun of the Dead, but I can't remember her. But either way, it's nice to know that Wonder Woman's building a supporting cast.
Yeah.
Powerless, the DC Comics insurance worker comedy, cast Vanessa Hudgens, Danny Pudi, and Alan Tudyk in series regular roles. Again, it's NBC, and I do not expect it to last more than one season, if it even gets picked up past pilot, because, again, NBC, but it could be good.
Yeah.
It has potential, but then again, freaking NBC. Jay and Silent Bob game was announced for a crowdfunding platform called Fig.
Yeah, I saw that. It's gonna be a side-scrolling beat-em-up that,
I heard it was something to do, like, it's kind of like Streets of Rage or something.
Yeah, very much, and it's starring Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the whole crowdfunding thing, but
well,
then again,
I mean,
I haven't really... Pardon?
So many people are wanting to do it, especially with, like, video games, because... One, it really helps you find out if you have an audience, and two, you can raise enough money to be completely independent of a studio.
Yeah. Well, I don't imagine it's not gonna hit the mark, because I know that a lot of people love the movies, so... But yeah, it should be interesting to see if that does well or not. Yeah, the Deadpool director, Tim Miller, only earned $250,000 for the movie that broke like all those records and made a whole load more.
Ouch.
Yeah, he's a first-time director, so apparently it's not surprising, but still, it made like however many 100 million. He only got 250,000, and Reynolds only got 2 million. Which again, for being the leading role, is not too much.
And producer, he's the whole reason that movie happened. Like,
yeah.
As much as I dislike Ryan Reynolds, I am very, very grateful to the man for getting that movie made.
You dislike Ryan Reynolds?
you were not around for the Fuck Ryan Reynolds campaign?
No, I don't think I was.
Me and Daniel had when we first started the podcast. No, I'm not a huge fan of his. Like, there's a handful of movies I like. This, Blade 3. I'm trying to think of another one. But, no, we're just not, like, I've never been a huge fan of him.
The Punisher solo show was deconfirmed by the Marvel TV boss, Jeff Loeb.
Good. So, it's happening.
No, it was deconfirmed.
Oh, meaning it's not happening.
Yeah, it's not going to be happening. Crushed the rumors. Said it might happen in the future, but it's unlikely. But apparently it's because they want a lot of the focus still to be on Daredevil, so which I get, but at the same time it would be nice to have a more Punisher-focused show, but oh well. Fox is interested in more episodes of X-Files apparently, which is not surprising considering apparently it's been doing real well. But again, apparently it would take a while.
Yeah, that surprises the hell out of me.
Yeah. The Rock is going to be playing the Hoff's role from Baywatch in the film adaptation of the TV series.
I got nothing. I mean, all right. Another reason for him not to have a shirt on.
Pardon?
Another reason for him not to have a shirt on.
Yeah. I mean, as amazing as The Rock is, because, don't get me wrong, I freaking love that guy, that movie does not need to be made. It continues the freaking trend of, what you call it, Lethal Weapon TV series and Rush Hour TV series, and now they're making a movie of a TV series. It's not necessary.
We're making for a movie for a TV series that defined a generation, so I'm not exactly like foreign to the idea. Like, Baywatch was a cult phenomenon, and
oh, it was, and I get that, but like if they had made a movie with the Hoff and everything at the time where it had that big cult backing.
Oh, they did, and it failed.
Oh, I know, but that's what I'm saying. If they did something similar, and well, yeah, you said it failed, so I don't know if this is going to be too successful if they did that with the characters that everyone already loved,
well,
and it failed.
Here, you know why, like, Baywatch was semi-successful, right?
Yeah.
It was on USA. USA could do more risque stuff earlier in the day.
Yep.
It very much pushed that boundary and was very much based on its sex appeal. When you say this is the series that started Pamela Anderson's career, you realize, it's not about the acting.
Well, I kind of get where you're going. I think they're trying to replicate that in the way that apparently Zac Efron is the co-star. Which, again, I'm not horribly against him, but I don't think that many people recruit him for his amazing acting skills.
This is going to be a PG-13, like, fluff comedy movie with Zac Efron and
The Rock.
And The Rock. It needs to be an R-rated beach cop thriller with a bit of nudity. If it's gonna be,
I don't know if I'd go that far, but sure.
I mean, like, maybe Deadpool levels of nudity.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but sure.
Like, it's really weird direction, in my opinion.
But yeah, I can't. Sorry, continue.
The Rock,
Yeah.
then it's gonna be freaking gonna be the same thing as Neighbors. It's gonna be that comedy movie.
Yeah, I could see it going that direction. Apparently, Pamela Anderson's supposed to have a cameo as well or something.
I just fine. I'd expect it. Like,
Yeah,
I think like if Pam Anderson and David Hasselhoff didn't make a cameo, people would be pissed.
probably. Um, Batman vs Superman is to get an R-rated home edition, and the internet flipped out.
Yeah, I can understand why.
I kind of get why the internet's flipping out. They're immediately going to, oh, but they're supposed to inspire children and all that other stuff.
Okay, they're flipping out in the wrong direction. Okay.
Yeah, and that's where they're going with it. But what I take from it is it's an optional edition of the movie that isn't being shoved in everyone's faces. It's about characters who have had some of the darkest comic stories. Yeah, they've had some like bright and cheery ones, but when you factor in Killing Joke, Death in and of the Family, and a whole load of other Batman ones, and even Death of Superman, they do have their share of dark stories, and that could be classed as like R-rated if they're adapted correctly. So I don't see why there's the massive flip out, like it's unexpected and never heard of Batman to be brutal or something.
Because it's not coming from comic fans, it's coming from the mindless masses.
No, because even some comic fans I've seen are like flipping out, and it's like,
well, you gotta remember, there's that group of fans that hates the last Superman movie because of the collateral damage.
He destroyed a whole city. Well, so did the Avengers pretty much, but no one freaked out about that.
No.
But, yeah, apparently it's only being R-rated because of, like, physical violence or that. It's not, like, grotesque nudity and absolute tons of blood everywhere. No, it's just because of a bit rougher violence or something. Because immediately everyone jumped to, this is just because Deadpool was super successful, so everyone's trying to jump up on that. Apparently it was signed on to be thingy since December, so it's not like it's out of nowhere. But yeah, again, I don't see what the big fuss is about, but the internet always finds problems with everything.
The internet will find
pardon?
If you love it, the internet will hate it.
Oh yeah,
or make
pretty
porn
much.
Of it.
Oh, don't go there. Please do not go there.
It's a rule.
Please.
It's a rule. And I sometimes find myself playing the weird, I enjoy this very popular internet personality. What if he's in Rule 34?
Yeah, apparently Ben Affleck has been reported to have fixed the script whilst dressed as Batman on multiple occasions. That, I mean, if he's made better additions to the script, that's awesome, but the fact that he was dressed as Batman while he did it?
They probably were doing it on the set.
Oh, I know, on set, but he just, like, couldn't be bothered taking off the bat suit, and he was just like, sure. Batman feels like some screenwriting today.
Would you? I mean, seriously, would you?
Oh yeah,
that costume
of course.
What?
Of course, I would freaking wear the bat suit if I was Batman in a film. I would wear it everywhere.
You gotta understand.
I'm the freaking Batman.
Yeah. You gotta understand. For as much as he comes off as the potential dick and the jock. Like, the jock guy because of his past.
Yeah.
He's a nerd.
Yeah.
And, like, let him have this fantasy.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you have... Unless you are being paid the most freaking money in the world, you have to have that slightest bit of nerdness in you to, like, fully commit to Batman or Superman or some massive comic role. Speaking of R-rated things, apparently Wolverine 3, the R-rated sequel, is rumored to be an adaptation of the Old Man Logan story, and it was intended to be R-rated before Deadpool's success, according to everyone involved.
I think I heard that somewhere before, Like, I've
Yeah.
been thinking about that since we talked about it. I'm like, wasn't it supposed to be R-rated to begin with because they were wanting to do Old Man Logan, and that is a very,
Yep.
very
Gory
brutal.
storyline.
Yeah, brutal because his.
Yep.
Well, I wonder how they're going to do it in the scopes of the film because parts of Old Man Logan tie back to the origin comic, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, I read up a bit about it and I saw like him killing off the Avengers and I'm like, well, they couldn't really pull that off because rights.
Well,
But they could.
the thing
Pardon?
I'm worried about is the whole brother thing. Are they just going to pull Sabretooth in and like? Because at
Yeah.
one point he fights his brother in that storyline.
Yeah, and if they're pulling Sabretooth in, are they going to be using the same actor as Origins? Because apparently they kind of erased that from the film's, like, that film universe's history, so I don't know how they're going to pull that off. But yeah, either way, I'm still excited to see Old Man Logan on the big screen.
A little disappointed that this is going to be Hugh Jackman's last role as Wolverine, but
Which saddens me deeply because he can only play Wolverine. I cannot see anyone else
you know
pulling
I'm
off.
having a hard time too. But I had a hard time seeing him as Wolverine in the beginning because he was such an unknown.
Yeah, but even when as soon as I first saw him, I was like, yeah, pretty much that's a human embodiment of Wolverine.
Yeah.
He just fits it real well, and like I've seen people like fan cast other actors in the role, and it's just no. I don't think anyone's going to be able to take that from him. But yeah, I'm still excited for that, even though it's his last as Wolverine. Yeah, first pictures of Laura Vandervoort, I think that's how you pronounce it, who was Supergirl from Smallville, as Indigo have been released in Supergirl.
Interesting.
He's going to be playing Indigo, who I believe is Brainiac 8 or something of the kind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
and
turned out to be a Brainiac from the future.
yeah. And she's said to have the ability to hop through the internet or something, which sounds weird. But the pictures released show her in like full blue, a fully blue outfit with a blue body paint and all this, and the iconic Brainiac LED headlight kind of thing. And it looks weird, I'm not going to lie, but it's quite awesome to know that freaking two Supergirls are going to be on the same screen at the same time.
Yeah.
Considering they've already had, is it Helen Slater?
Yeah, the woman who played her in the movies?
Yeah, Helen Slater. And Dean Cain have both been in it as well, so it's quite nice how
As
everyone's
her parents.
Yep. It's quite nice how everyone who's kind of be involved with that and just the general Superman universe is seemingly getting a cameo at this point. If only they would cast Tom Welling as Superman, my life would be complete.
Doubt they will, but I have a feeling he will show up at some point.
I hope he does. I don't think they'd cast him as Superman. That's just me that wants that to happen, but yeah.
Oh no, you're not the only one. I'd love to see him in a costume, but I
Yeah.
think after 10 years of filming, he's wanting away from the character.
Yeah. But again, people can say what they want about Smallville. He was perfect
He was
as.
good. Like a lot,
I
like
think.
the only actor that was in it for the long run that I had problems with was Lana Lang.
Yeah. I was okay with her for like a good first half of Smallville, but then she was still heavily prevalent in like the later seasons, and I'm like, really, is that necessary in the slightest? Like, she's always been a character that just kind of lingers about at the start of Superman storylines and then kind of goes away, but she was there the whole time. and it seemed kind of forced. But again, that's just me.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't disagree with you. Yeah, like later seasons, it just seems like they were creating stories to just keep her involved.
yeah. Like, there's just the whole thing with her, Maddie and Lex, and it's like, no, that again seems forced for some reason.
Hmm.
But I still love Smallville. But yeah, there are elements that I'm not too favourable about. In other news, Pokemon Sun and Moon versions were announced on the new Pokemon Direct.
Yeah, I saw those. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw the news. I'm glad we're
Uh,
getting a new generation. I'm glad it's
yep,
3DS.
it's new generation, new region, and more. Apparently, they're trying to go back to the basics like Red and Blue.
Yeah.
Um, they didn't show off really any footage. Like they showed off a few concepts and stuff, but the rest of it was just kind of talking more about the legacy of Pokemon. But they said that the remastered Red, Blue, and Yellow, you'll be able to trade Pokemon to Sun and Moon from the Virtual Console games.
Good, good. I haven't picked up Yellow yet, but I need to.
Yeah, I need to get around to that as well.
Yeah, well, I'm holding it off on it because for two reasons. One, Twilight Princess HD comes out in a few weeks, and I think I'm gonna grab
Oh
that.
yeah, I can't wait for that.
And then come back to like Red, Blue, and Yellow later, because it's not like I'm like the problem is it's gonna look like the old games, and I'm gonna have a hard time just forcing myself through that again.
Yeah, it's easier to go to Fire Red and Leaf Green than it is to go all the way back to Red and
Yeah,
Blue.
but
Leaf.
so yeah, but I'm still gonna pick it up, if nothing, just to try to get the original 151.
Yeah, because at the end of the remastered Red and Blue trailers, like they showed off Mew or Mewtwo, and oh, nostalgia kicked up a storm in me. But yeah, I'm still excited to pick Yellow up at some point.
Wait, Red and Blue are remastered?
Yeah, well, not remastered, but like Virtual Console, like did it like properly cleaned up.
Okay, so yeah, Red, Blue, and Yellow. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and get the Mew properly now.
Yeah,
But yeah, I need to get all three of them, so to get all 150, because there's some that don't appear in yellow.
yeah. Yeah, Remedy filed a trademark for Alan Wake's return, and a possible sequel might happen.
Yay, everyone's favorite horror writer is back.
I'm assuming you didn't enjoy the games.
I just, it's a weird concept, and I liked it because it was so different,
Yeah,
like, as a horror game, but I just, like, I got overly frustrated with just the controls, like, how the game plays.
I didn't have any problems with the controls. I really enjoyed Alan Wake and, oh, I think it was American Nightmare, the arcade game that was included afterwards.
Hmm.
But, yeah, I played through those like a year or two after the arcade game came out, and I really enjoyed both of them. So I'm excited that a sequel's been announced, but since there's nothing else really revealed about it at this point, I'm not going to get like overly optimistic or happy about it.
Yeah.
Especially since it's been years since the original Alan Wake came out, and even then, that took far too long to release after it was announced.
And then didn't do well until, like, after, like, well after its release.
Yeah,
And, you know, like, it did critically well, but not financially well, and
yeah. But again, if it happens, I'll be happy. But until I see like a trailer or proper confirmation, I'm not gonna get overly excited or anything.
that's a safe bet. That is a very safe bet. To just
Yeah,
relax about it. I mean, I'm not saying avoid the idea. I gotta stop that. If you were a big fan of the last one. But I'm definitely telling you to just until this one is like
Formally announced.
gold. Don't hold on to any idea.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, wait for them to be making discs because games can enter like long development processes and still
Yep.
never come out.
Because that first game was delayed so many times that no one ever thought it came out. Will come out. Uh, Daredevil got two new trailers released for season two. The focus was on Punisher in the first trailer and Elektra for the second, and both looked amazing.
Good, good,
There have been some early reviews for like the first episode of season two, and everyone's just kind of freaking out about Punisher. And from what I've seen so far, it does look like he's going to deliver.
good.
And it looks like they've cast a good Elektra as well. So for both of those, I'm quite excited actually. And plus, first season of Daredevil was incredible.
I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Yeah.
They casted Power Fist as well.
Oh, yeah, Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Yep. Game of Thrones actor Finn Jones was cast as Danny Rand.
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. I don't know too much about his acting abilities because yeah, he had a role in Game of Thrones, but it was pardon.
I'm trying to remember him from Game of Thrones and I can't.
Sir Loras Tyrell. He was Marjorie's brother.
Oh, I know who he is. Ugh, wow. That's 180.
What?
Okay. His character in Game of Thrones, he was a gay knight. And it wasn't proper to be gay. It was like, so he had to hide it.
Yeah. Problem?
Yeah, because they eventually bring up this whole religious sect that starts punishing people publicly.
No, I'm saying, do you have a problem with his character?
Not with the whole thing, but the character's very wiry and, like, weak compared to Danny, who's confident and composed.
Yeah. Then again, I'm not gonna base everything that I've seen off of just that.
Yeah, like, if I'd seen him in more, it's weird. He's not a bad actor, though. Now that I know who he is, he's not a bad actor.
Again, he kind of looks apart. I can kind of see it, but until I actually see him as a character, I'm not going to be like overly optimistic. The fact that it's Marvel's TV kind of division handling it, and they've done freaking Daredevil and Jessica Jones, makes me kind of optimistic. But again, I'm not going to base it just off of that.
This still needs to be like a super kung fu series, in my opinion, but I'm happy it's getting cast.
I don't think it needs to be over like super kung fu focused and like over the top with that. If they keep it grounded like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and they pull it off well like that, then it should be real good. But
yeah, I'm not against them keeping it grounded. But like I said, what I want.
Oh yeah, grounded to an extent.
Yeah.
It's freaking magic Iron Fist. I don't want them to take that away. I'm just meaning still grounded in the way that like magic in DC has been. It's not over the top weird, but it's still kind of grounded.
I'm gonna assume you meant Marvel and not DC when you said that.
I was kind of thinking of Constantine and how DC's TV and everything's introducing magic.
Okay.
So, but yeah. But either way, I'm going to try and be optimistic. But again, I'm not getting overly excited until I've seen the actor as the character. Star Wars, the comic that reveals the story of C-3PO's Red Arm, is to be released on March 30th.
Well, it was supposed to be out already.
Nope.
Go figure.
I mean, if it's a comic based just off of how he got the red arm and then it just kind of stops after it's revealed, I'm not going to be too interested because that just seems like the kind of thing that you can Google afterwards and just go, oh, cool.
Well,
But if
for a lot of
pardon?
these stories like this, I am waiting for the graphics.
Yeah,
Because I know for the origin, the pre-movie stories, I'm grabbing the graphic for for Finn, Poe, and
Ray.
Ray. Yeah.
Yep. And again, if it's just like a mini series just on how he got the red arm, I'm not necessarily interested. But if it's an ongoing series, then
No. If it's what I think it is, and it's one of these prequel stories,
yeah,
like it's the build up, it'll just be a short story, and then just wait for the graphic because it'll probably be collected with a few other stories.
yeah, I'll probably either wait for the graphic or just Google how did C-3PO get his red arm after the comics released. Because again, it seems like something that doesn't need a whole like however many comic issues to be told.
Yeah.
But then again, I could just be being pessimistic.
I did ask, like, I want to know how it happened because it's just like, why is it red?
Yeah, because when it was first like, and when he was first shown to have it, and like no one really talked about it, I was like, why is no one talking about this? This might not seem big, but that's a big change. But as time's just progressed, I've just kind of accepted it and not really wanted to look further into it. But either way, I'm still excited to see what happens and why it's there. Um, Netflix is to premiere an original anime from the studio behind Attack on Titan and Ghost in the Shell.
Interesting.
No idea what it's about, but apparently Ghost in the Shell is real good, and Attack on Titan is amazing.
Which Ghost in the Shell?
The good one, I believe.
Standalone complex, the new movies, the original movies.
I will go check.
Thank you. Because I love me some Ghost in the Shell, and I watched that franchise. It's one of the best cyberpunk franchises.
Yeah. Heard a lot of people freak out about it.
The new movies got met with a lot of scrutiny, but they're not bad. I mean, they're really not. I haven't seen the last two yet because I watched them dubbed, so
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that to
Oh,
pop up
dub.
on Netflix.
Oh, dub. If it's not Pokemon and it's dubbed, I find it hard to watch.
Have you watched the Pokemon dub?
Yeah, I grew up watching Pokemon dubs.
I know, but I mean,
But like, I tried to like watch the Death Note dub, Sword Art Online dub, and both were just I couldn't after watching the subs. It was just I could not. But let me see. It does not say what they worked on. Which Ghost in the Shell thing?
I'll assume the new movies, and the new movies weren't bad. But if it was the studio behind standalone project, I'd have been like super excited.
Well, either way, it's still the same company that made, production studio kind of thing that made Attack on Titan, and
Yeah.
I've seen that, and it was real good the first season, and that. So, I'm excited to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Not necessarily anything important, but I'm more shocked at how the internet actually accepted something with open arms. Facebook added reactions.
Yeah, I've been wondering how that works because I've been seeing them on a few of my posts. Like you reacted to
Yep.
something, and
Yep.
some of the other stuff. But now that I know it's called reaction and it's in this post Uh, post Fine Brothers screwing the fuck
Oh,
up.
I know. I know. But the fact that the internet has accepted something with open arms, with little to no complaining,
Yeah,
is
it's
a
weird.
phenomenon.
Especially
But yeah, I
with,
just find that real weird.
especially with, especially with just how much they disliked how much they disliked the change from favorite to like on Facebook on Twitter.
Oh yeah, the internet blew up. No one liked that, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's it. I'm leaving Twitter. They changed it from a star to a heart. I can't handle this." And what's that? Everyone still uses Twitter? I am astounded.
Yep.
The internet just loves to blow up over nothing and then just continue using whatever it is.
Yeah. It's like wrestling fans. It's like,
Yeah,
well, I don't like what I'm seeing. I hate the show. I'll see you on Monday night.
yeah.
Never gonna watch again. See you all on Monday.
I mean, I don't personally watch wrestling, but I can attest to knowing some people that do, and yeah.
Oh no, like I'm not huge into it. I don't actively watch it, but I love their fans on the internet because they're the best example of the internet ever. I like so many posts are just like, oh my god, this is such a stupid decision. Why would they make this decision? Blah blah
Yep,
blah. X doesn't need Y or Y doesn't need Z and stuff like that.
yep,
And I'm never going to watch this again. And then the Monday night afterwards, that very same poster was like, this show is amazing.
yep. There's someone I follow on Twitter that is exactly that. Oh, they're going so stupid with all these storylines. I'm never gonna watch this. This is just so horrible. I'm subscribing from all my WWE fan networks next week. Oh my goodness, they just did the best thing I've ever seen ever. I love all you guys.
Yeah.
Yep. It seems to be how it goes. But yeah, Facebook apparently pulled off an internet phenomenon. Crazy man Kanye West says his next album will be named after the 30-year-old Japanese home console TurboGrafx FX16.
The TurboGrafx?
Yep.
I
His
hope
new
he
album
gets
will be
sued.
named.
I hope he gets the pants sued off him.
I hope too. But again, he is a crazy man who's super successful and has so much money, I don't even think he'd care. But still, he's. Apart from anything else, why name it after a 30-year-old Japanese home console?
Because he wants that indie street cred now.
Why?
Kanye West. He doesn't think in
I,
wise. He thinks in why
I
not.
know, he's a crazy person. He's a crazy person who asks disabled people to stand up, but I still don't get his reasoning.
Well, I mean, it's like, eventually, if he does it one more time, they're going to stop letting him go to the VMAs.
Yeah, he's already been kicked out of the Grammys, apparently.
I mean, twice on the VMAs, he gets super drunk and then gets up there and wants to insult their best performing artist of the year. And while
Well,
Taylor
yeah.
Swift got like really upset by that, Beck was like, "Come on, come on, come on, Kanye, I want to hear it." Beck was excited when
Yeah,
Kanye started going
and
towards
he
that
also, well, he also thinks he's a literal god. He constantly tweets about how he's amazing and he is God's gift to Earth. And I think he's generally just a heavily deluded man. But he's super successful, so no one cares.
Yeah, but look what happens when you're super successful and no one cares. Eventually, you have to start caring because you end up like Donald Trump and you think you can run the country.
Oh, he's gonna be president.
And I'm leaving this country if he is.
Come come to Scotland or go to Canada or something, because if he becomes president, the world will end and you'll want to be somewhere safer. Oh, I know I say he will be president, but it's only because I have no faith in the amount of stupid people out there who think racism is cool, because apparently he's doing well in the polls and such, and
well,
that
he
makes...
got destroyed at the debate last night.
Oh yeah, I did hear.
He got destroyed, so...
Again, you can never doubt the amount of crazy, stupid, racist people in the world.
I mean, I feel bad for Hillary Clinton. She ended her campaign.
She did?
Yeah, she did something. She did a no-no.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're not they removed her from the campaign.
I know that Jeb Bush ended his campaign, and it was after one of the most demoralizing, saddest things I've ever seen, which was him at one of his own little candidate meetups asking everyone to clap. He sat there, he started stating all of his policies and his points, and then the whole audience was just silent, and he just went, "Please clap." It was the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. So I am not surprised he ended his presidential campaign.
Yeah.
But even then, I would take him over freaking Trump.
Yeah. Well, Trump got destroyed in the polls last night. That's the only, like, real good news.
Apparently, he's going to be building the Mexican border wall 10 feet higher, and Canada's going to pay for it now, since the Mexican president told him to F off.
Good on Mexico. Good
I know,
on
right?
Mexico.
I don't know how we get from Kanye West to F off Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't see it, I'm not going to explain it to you, but there is a bridge there, and it's...
Two crazy people with really unaccepted ideals. Yeah, Far Cry Primal was released. I've gotten to play a lot of the game, and whilst parts of the story are overly basic letdowns with some real lazy writing, the really amazing gameplay and visuals more than make up for it. Like, just getting to ride around on a freaking saber-toothed tiger and use your bow and arrow and taking down people, it is a whole load of fun.
I've heard, like, Far Cry Primal is amazing.
Oh, it really is good, but again, the story... it is a letdown when compared to the other games, and just games in general.
It's been a letdown since 3! Like, the best part about 4 stories, you can sit there and end it.
Hey, Pagan Min was a good bad guy.
Yeah, but you didn't see him through 90% of the game. Instead, you had to deal with 2 twats arguing over...
Oh... The freaking people. Oh, do I want to go with the guy who wants to make child marriage legal, or the woman who wants to enslave children? That's what I want to be deciding between.
I'm going to sell drugs and enslave children, or I'm going to make a harsh religious state
that allows marriage to children.
And live by 190-year-old religious beliefs.
Yep. And again, that part of the story just I really did not like in the slightest. And it's not like I just disagreed with their views. No, I just dislike whoever wrote that.
Yeah. Like, 3. Oh my god, Far Cry 3 is such a great story.
Oh yeah. I mean, 4 has the gameplay to still back up the lack of, like, real good story. And it does have good villain, even though you don't see him a whole lot.
Oh my god, Pagan Min is great.
Oh yeah.
But, again, Pagan Min is also...
not in it a lot.
Exactly.
But still, Troy Baker is one of his best villain roles.
My advice to everyone who wants to be a voice actor, buy a really shiny microphone, and then wait for me to die.
Wait for me and Nolan North to die.
it's mean, but it's true.
Oh, it's so true. It's like gut-wrenchingly true. Him and Nolan North are in everything.
Yep.
If they're not starring in it, they are somewhere as a background voice. You can tell. But yeah, as I was saying, gameplay more than makes up for the story letdowns of Far Cry Primal, and again, the freaking gameplay is amazing. Getting to ride a mammoth into battle with like throwing wooden spears and then using slingshot rock things is immediately just rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
So I give it an 8.5.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. It's gonna be the first Far Cry I pick up since 3.
Yeah.
But I don't I don't know if I'm gonna do an LP on it or not. It's not that I hate like I'm not good at those games, and I don't know if I'll finish it, but I am definitely going to pick it up.
Yeah. Well, again, I recommend it. It's really good. If you're playing games for story, it's not really the place to look. But if you just enjoy good games, go for it.
Yeah.
Have you got anything else?
Not really, no. You've pretty much covered all the major news.
I could go into TV if you want.
If you want to, go for it. Like, if you want to do your reviews for the week, go for it. I'm not against that.
Right. Our episode this week was called Taken. Had a great progression of the story. Neil McDonough, I think is how you pronounce it, is great as Damien Dark as always. Vixen is a freaking badass. More magical elements, and had a Constantine shout out. 9.
Good.
It was a brief shout out. It was like, oh, couldn't we call Constantine? Oh, he's in hell. Oh, no, he's actually in literal hell. So I appreciate that. Flash's episode was called King Shark, and oh my goodness,
Yes, I love that villain. He's a horrible villain.
Amazing bad guy, who in the comics is written brilliantly by Gail Simone. I mean, he had a whole freaking page with him singing about how he's a mother shark.
Yep.
But yeah, he was brought to life incredibly by the visual effects wizard. He is a freaking shark wearing trousers, and combined with several greatly performed scenes and a big twist ending, the episode was a great break from the Zoom focused kind of Earth 2 stuff that they've been doing, and I didn't know I needed that, so I'd give it a 9.5.
Nice.
Legends Star City 2046. The episode gave a great look at a potential future for Star City with an one-armed Oliver Queen. Stephen Amell's performance was great.
I loved that goatee. I'm just gonna say that now. Like, he looked perfect.
The one-armed effects as well, great. And the fact that he had the robotic arm from Dark Knight Strikes Again, which is not a good comic, but the fact that they adapted the whole robotic arm thing was awesome.
I like the robotic arm from Dark Knight Strikes Again, but I like him pulling a bow back with his mouth even better from Dark Knight Strikes.
I know, but they pull it off well.
Yeah.
Connor Hawke was in it. He was John Diggle Jr., and he was quite good. Deathstroke was in it, but it was Grant Wilson, his son. Presumably because Manu Bennett can't be starring as Deathstroke apparently because of some contractual things to do with Deathstroke. But yeah, he was a great villain. Captain Cold's Heatwave subplot was really good, but the other one was kind of unnecessary in the long run. I did enjoy it, but it was still unnecessary. But as a whole, it continued a great first season for Legends, and I definitely recommend it. 8.5.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Walking Dead had an episode called The Next World. Had a lot of great moments. Jesus from the comics was introduced. There was a time jump, a generally lighter tone. The episode was a great break from the darker tone of the previous episode, and it sets up a lot of great stuff for the next few episodes. so I'd give it an 8. And I think that's all TV this week. So, unless you've got anything else, do you want to just end it here?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it. We want to thank everyone who came out and watched and listened. Hit that like and subscribe button. We will be back next week with more. You can follow me at robo_luchador.
You can follow me at Elusive Speed.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see everybody next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.